Okay, here we are going over the new SAT Test 1, Section 3, the math section with no calculator. And C, Kathy is a repair technician. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week, she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation P equals 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? Okay. Now this question definitely has a different feel to it. This feels more like a new SAT question because you didn't used to really get questions like this on the SAT in terms of asking you what a certain constant in an equation represents. And that's what this is, of course. 108 is a constant. It's sort of a fixed number that doesn't change. And so you do kind of have to think of this big picture a little bit before it becomes clear. Another thing you could do if you wanted to is you could try different numbers for D. You could plug in D equals 1, D equals 2, and you'll see the number P, which, you always want to remind yourself what the number P means. And P is the number of phones that are left. So, because that's so important, I would write that off to the side. So P represents the number of phones remaining. And when we're trying to calculate the number of phones remaining, we take this number 108 and then we subtract 23D, and D, just a reminder about D, D is the number of days that Kathy has worked this week. So if you put in numbers for D, if you put in 1, you put in 2, you'll see that number that she has left slowly decrease. Now, what's a little bit weird about this number is, there are 5 days in a work week usually, but 5 times 23, if you do that out, which you'll have to do that out because it's, this is the calculator not allowed section, 5 times 23 is actually 115, so that might kind of confuse you a little bit. But they do say in the question that the number of phones she has left each day can be estimated with this equation. So, they kind of they can get away with it because they say estimated. It's similar to questions that say approximately. If the answer is asking for the approximate answer, then it doesn't have to be exact, of course. So anyway, what you'll notice if you put in 1, is you'll have plenty of phones left. If you put in 2, you'll have fewer phones left. And then when you get to 5, it appears you have, approximately 0 phones left. So what does that 108 represent? At this point, hopefully you start to realize that 108 represents the total number of phones that Kathy has to fix. And that's why we're subtracting from it to see how many phones she has left to fix. It all kind of starts with the 23D, thinking about what that represents, perhaps trying different numbers for D. And then, of course, if you're not sure, you can go through your answer choices, but it would kind of be ludicrous for it to take Kathy 108 days to repair those phones. The answer, as we said here, is going to be B. Kathy repairs phones at a rate of 108 per hour. If that were true, then the equation wouldn't apply. And then Kathy repairs phones at a rate of 108 per day. Once again, you can kind of test that and see that that would be false. You can see that it's going to take her between 4 and 5 days to finish 108 phones. So that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, this is a true new SAT question, and the answer is B.